To know about the people's struggle, values, culture, civilization in general, the best place to look into is literature. That is why we're looking at littérature. De quoi s'agit-il? Before now, everything in print is regarded as literature. We call it tout ce qui est imprimé pour être appelé littérature. With this definition, you can have what we call littérature, l'histoire, geography, commerce, any field of knowledge that can be literature. And before the novice, it is arbitrary. It is an abstract thing. But when you come to literary studies, there are three things you want to take note of to define literature properly. Number one, the word imagination. Number two, human experiences. Number three, fiction. And so in French, we define literature as une œuvre d'imagination qui reflète des expériences humaines présentées sous forme de fiction. Now, with that definition, you are going to agree with me, if you take time to reflect, that history, thoughts, sentiments, les mœurs, values, and the civilization of people are captured in literature. That we say it in French as elle présente l'histoire, la pensée, les sentiments, les mœurs, bref, toute la civilisation d'une société. With this in mind, people have come to decide that literature is a mirror qui reflète les réalités socio-culturelles, politiques, économiques d'un pays. That is, c'est un miroir qui reflète la société. We're looking at African literature because literature is too broad. We want to narrow it down. If literature is a work of imagination that reflects people's experience in fictional form, that means African literature refers to fictional works that reflect the experience of Africans presented in fictional form. Let's define it in French terms. So la littérature africaine peut être définie comme l'ensemble des coutumes, des mœurs, des civilisations, des pensées et des sentiments du peuple noir d'Afrique. La littérature africaine peut être perçue sous deux formes, littérature orale et écrite. Now, the very first one, littérature orale. Let's summarize what it's all about. La parole est une grande chose. Un seul mot pour guérir un malade, aider à vivre celui qui n'avait pas plus d'espoir, le maître du monde est celui qui maîtrise la parole, le féticheur apprivoise un dieu avec son verbe, comme le griot dompte le noble, la parole est la force vitale de l'homme. C'est par la parole que l'homme allait les puissances surnaturelles, pourvoyeuses de forme. What you have here is a summary of the different genres of littérature orale. Now, what is littérature orale? You want to think that c'est l'ensemble des connaissances, l'usage du langage esthétique non écrit, l'ensemble des connaissances et activités y rapportent. That is when you have the beautiful usage of language and then bringing about knowledge in activities that is not written, we have littérature orale in that context. Now, littérature orale has been what we have in Africa before the arrival of the Westerners with Western education through colonization. And people believe that littérature orale est plus complète, plus ancienne, plus important. Why? Plus ancienne parce que c'est pratiqué depuis des siècles. And it has been from history. You go to the Bible, people sing songs and a lot of things. We're going to see that in another video. Now we have plus complète because it touches every subject of that human existence. And then c'est plus important parce que c'est bien entendu. Everybody can listen to it. And bien entendu, it is wide. Everybody can practice it as well. As you look at literature in Africa, we have division among different schools of thought. We have number one, those that believe that we should no longer write our literary work in the European language. Rather, we should use the African language. We have people like Gugi Watiego, who wrote in Kungiyi. You also have the likes of Boubacar Boris Diop, who wrote in Wolof instead of French. There's another school of thought that believe that because of the challenges in African language where we don't have written documents, that writers should maintain writing in French language or the English language, the colonizers' language. However, they should do what we call l'africanisation de la langue française. in passing their message. You Africanize the language. And by so doing, they will not respect the structures of the French grammar, but rather they will write directly. So they are thinking in their mother thought, writing in French, not respecting the laid down French grammatical structures. All they do is what we call transliteration. The way they said in the mother tongue, they write it using the French as medium of expression. We have the likes of Amadou Nkrumah and Chinua Achebe in the English world in that particular category. Now, Nkrumah summarized everything saying that les îles sont riches, une langue au contact d'un peuple dont elle n'est pas issue de débouche, ne débouche pas forcément sur un dépérissement de cette langue. Je pense que la langue française africaine aurait pu naître et donner naissance à une belle littérature. Je sais que mon livre, Le Soleil des Indépendances, a dérouté le lecteur français. Ça ne me gêne pas parce que ce n'est pas à lui qu'il s'adresse. Ce livre s'adresse à l'Africaine. Je l'ai pensé en maliqué et écrit en français, en prenant une liberté que j'estime naturelle avec la langue classique. Qu'avais-je donc fait? Simplement donner libre cours à mon tempérament en distendant une langue classique trop rigide pour que ma pensée s'y meuve. J'ai donc traduit le maliki en français en cassant le français pour trouver et restituer le rythme africain. So this is a summary of what African writers do when they write in French or English. They Africanize the French language and translate directly to French from the mother thought. And that's what most of them have done. And that's the part that most writers have decided to embrace, writing about Africans' experiences in general. Now, what are the features of oral literature? You have it on your screen there. We have number one, it's not written, it is spoken, elle est parlée, it's not documented, there's no reference you can make to it, and then it's not stable, it can be manipulated, and then it's transmitted orally from one generation to the other, and they can lose its value in the course of transmission, and then there's neither date of publication nor a publication house. There's no author actually. So those are the characteristics of oral literature. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.